Alright folks, welcome back to the Don's channel. I am the Don Father and I'm now going to be doing a song based on previous reactions that I've done. Is possibly one of the most requested individual songs from a band or a group on the channel to date. It's Five Finger Death Punch, Wrong Side of Heaven. Now, I know a little bit about it, I know what to expect, so if you're watching this for the first time and you're easily emotional, get a box of tissues because this is going to be pretty difficult. It's in relation to sort of the aftermath of coming home after serving your country in conflict zones, if you like, PTSD, things like that there. Obviously mental health problems with experiences you've endured or witnessed after deployment. This is what this is touching on, so it's going to be a difficult one to watch, but I'm looking forward to it because I like to bring attention. Not that many Americans need to know what's going on, they're pretty familiar with this issue surrounding veterans or even serving personnel with relation to PTSD. They're quite aware of it, but there's no harm in spreading more light on the topic. I think there's a lot of forgotten veterans out there that could be doing with a little bit more light shone on this and a little bit more help. The homelessness rate within veterans is scandalous. The drink and drug problem within veterans is scandalous. The incarceration, I think, is not very good, but ultimately the suicide rate is heartbreaking. So I think it's possibly 22 a day on average are taking their own lives because of things that they've obviously witnessed or endured in conflict zones during their time of service. So anyway, look, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. The link to the original video is in the description section below, so no more talking then. Let's go.
She's ashamed. What have I become? What have I done? I spoke to the devil today, and he swears he's not to blame. And I understood, 'cause I feel the same. Arms wide open, I stand alone. I'm no hero, and I'm not made of stone. Right or wrong, I can hardly care. I'm on the wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell. The wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell. I heard from God today, and she sounded just like me. What have I done, and who have I become? I saw the devil today, and he looked a lot like me. I looked away, I turned away. Arms day. Arms wide open, I stand alone. I'm no hero, and I'm not made of stone. Right or wrong, I can hardly tell. I'm on the wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell. The wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell. The wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell.
And there's a list of different organisations to get in touch with if you want to help. There's a lot there. So I'll just stop the video there. There's a lot of charities coming up, so if you want to check them out, check it out at in the link in the description section below. What a song, what a song, and the figures and the stats, the video, it's heartbreaking, isn't it? What I will say is quite powerful, isn't it? Like the initial bit where they're talking about wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell. You're not a bad person. You've maybe witnessed bad things, possibly had to do things that if you're a Christian, you'd probably look at it and go, or any other religion where you believe in a heaven and hell, well, the things I've had to do probably excludes me from heaven, but I'm not a bad person. I don't believe I should be in hell, so where do I belong? And actual fact, this is not a lie, I've actually heard a friend of mine saying that the things I've done, don't think I'll get to heaven. If there's heaven, don't think I'll get there. And you get upset about that because you're not doing anything because you're a bad person. You're not doing these things because you're a murderer. You're not doing these things because you're evil. No, you're doing your duty. And even if you look through any religious book, there's talks of conflict, but it doesn't talk about the mental side of what living with the scares of those conflicts it leaves behind with you. So it's hard hitting, that song. I think it was amazing how he's obviously been the final guy there in the video who obviously they were together, and he's helped him on operational tour of duty, and he's ended up homeless, and that man's obviously doing well for himself, shirt, tie, suit, and he's came down, seen him, person who saved him, and he never walked past him. He seen him and he went over and he helped him and he picked him up, and it's just that little individual act of kindness that could change people's lives. I mean, these people aren't bad people. They've probably done foolish things after they've got out. They can't live with the demons that are now left behind when all of their brothers in arms, if you like, are no longer surrounding them. There's nobody to talk to. There's the breakdown of relationships, their family, maybe the wife's left them, you know what I mean? The children aren't with them anymore. They can't, relationships are hard to kind of achieve, you know what I mean? You push people away, you can't understand why. So you've got that element, you've got the element of I want to mask this with drinking too much, maybe taking drugs, you end up in the streets. the case where you seen the man getting arrested, fellow military tattoo on him, and he lets him go. He's like, this, you know, he's drunk, he's being a nuisance in the public, but there's a reason behind this behaviour, and he sees that and he lets him go, releases him out of the handcuffs. It's just devastating. But look, the rate of incarceration, the rate of drink and drug abuse, so many things there, the stats that you're seeing, it's an epidemic actually. The numbers are frightening. I think as much as charities, it's fantastic that people donate to these charities that help. I also think governments spend an awful lot of money on the best military equipment, the best training, sending the logistics to send people into these conflict zones, the rebuilding of the countries after you've been to them, like school and hospitals, basic stuff, training their troops, so many different things, humanitarian stuff as well. The money that gets spent on that side of it as well, it's going into the trillions of dollars, isn't it? But there's very little by the governments that make these decisions to go to these wars in way of support thereafter. So as soon as you say, I'm leaving the forces, that's you as good as gone, your number's up, goodbye, best of luck in the future, but anything that you might have to live with after your service is no longer our problem, because you're no longer an asset to us. And I believe that, I absolutely believe that. I'm not speaking on the American side of things, but definitely on the British side of things. I think they've failed a lot of veterans. I think charities do as best a job as they can, and it's absolutely brilliant. I think people, civilians, will dig deep and donate to them if it means something to them. Not a lot of people it might mean anything to, and they'll not donate, if you like. But it's certainly something I think the governments have a duty of care thereafter. Whether or not it's something that they do annually, check in on people. I don't know if they could possibly do it, but it's something. I don't know what the solution is, but I know they need to do something, because that is epidemic level there. That is epidemic level there. That's stats, and I would say those stats are far greater than when that video was released. And they said in the time that you've been watching this video, what was it, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, somebody's took their own life, a veteran's took their own life. Now for normal civilians that might be, it's just another statistic, a lot like COVID, it's just another statistic. But what you're doing when you're putting numbers on a screen, yes, it can be quite hard hitting to the people that care, but you're actually taking the human element out of it. So I think it's something the media don't want to cover that much of actually, so it's fantastic to see bands like that there taking the time to make people aware of, actually, this is not good, we need to do something. The media want to sweep it under the carpet and don't want to shed light on it, because actually it could be treated as a failure, and rightly so. And I do believe government should be held accountable for these things, because it's not good. It's not good. You've got to think of the person who's in that position, who's possibly took their own life, but not only that, their family members, because their family members deserve something, an answer to why there was no help available from the military itself, you know. So anyway, look, that's my opinion on it. I mean, other people's may vary. I don't know what the solution is in terms of what the government could do, but there needs to be something, I know that much. It can't go on like that. Right now, it's probably worse, the numbers. It could possibly go down, as of course, I would say the US and the UK troops are not really fighting as much in the Middle East anymore, so possibly and hopefully that number will be coming down. All those numbers, those figures will be starting to come down, but it's probably went on the rise since that song. That's my point. Anyway, thanks very much for the request. It was difficult to watch, and I would say for anybody who this song has a direct effect on, for maybe different reasons, maybe somebody in your family suffering, or they've obviously not been able to live with it and they've took their own lives because of problems after their service. My love to you, and anybody maybe serving who's lost a friend because of this as well. I understand that 100%. I see where you're coming from, so I can relate. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. The link to the original video will be in the description section below, as always. Do check out those charities. If you're affected by that, do check out those charities. They're doing great work. They're doing the best work they can. and find which one suits best you and the way you want to see these veterans helped, because there's different things for different veterans they help. Some of them are helping their families, some of them are helping directly, some of them are helping and so it's just different ways. So just check out which one, read up on them, but the link in the original video in the description section, open that and go to the end of that video, because I'm cutting it out for editing this video, and check out all the list of charities and see if you feel like you want to donate. I would highly recommend that. Thanks very much again, and I'll see you all soon.